Do you find that you have many urgent things that arise during the day, kind of sucking your time up? And if so, I want to talk about how that has nothing to do with the tasks at hand, but a hidden driver that you may not recognize. Is it productive to answer every call as it comes through, every email, every notification, every question from your team? Is it important to answer them as they come through? And some people think yes, some people think it's a strategy, that it's more effective to answer everything as it comes through. But studies have shown that multitasking reduces productivity by up to 40%. So it's equivalent to going to work after doing an all-nighter. That's how productive you are, right? So multitasking doesn't allow us to get more done. It's very disruptive. And I remember reading research that it takes us about 25, 30 minutes to get back on track on the task that we were doing prior to being disrupted. Okay, so it actually takes us a long time to get back into deep work, which is why when we're there, we want to stay there. So why are we so responsive? Okay, why are we jumping on things immediately? Why are we answering calls from friends, from family? Why are we answering team questions straight away? Are they urgent? And do we need to be notified immediately of something that's happened on email or social media? And do we need to be saying yes to everything, especially if you're time poor as it is? Does it make you a leader? Does it make you an effective business owner or not? I always used to see everything as urgent, and there's still a bit of that there. I want to do everything at once, right? And I always just think if I just put it on my list, it'll get done. It'll be a stretch, but that's okay, it'll get done. And my coach is always saying to me, I promise you, nothing is ever that urgent. Nothing is ever that urgent. And she must have said it around 100 times by now. And it's finally sunk in because nothing is really ever that urgent. Okay, we make it urgent because of a hidden need that we have, which I'm going to talk about today. So if you feel the need to respond to everything and perform any favor that anyone asks you, then this is a podcast for you. So let's consider that why you or me or others are accepting these requests. And it looks like it's being helpful, right? It looks like we're serving people as being helpful and we're addressing concerns. But actually, there's a hidden need for approval. And it shows up in our work and in our life, and it's part of our early programming, right? In the early years, there's an author, Steve Chandler. He's written about 30 books. He's a coach for coaches. He's also a speaker, but he's written a lot of books. And he has this great distinction called social self versus professional self. And he said, when you understand this distinction, it really frees up people in areas of creating wealth and prosperity. And the social self is what, from the time that we were born, we were taught how to interact with society, right? We're to be likable, to be accepted by society, okay? And there is an automatic desire to be liked. As part of this programming, being liked was important for, survival, I guess, going back to our kind of hunter-gatherer days. Being accepted in our group or in our tribe was very important. But even as our younger self, being accepted into a social setting or into society, we had to have certain mannerisms and the way of communicating and our behaviour and our actions in order to be accepted. Now, this can show up in our professional self. So what happens is that we bring our social self, this programmed version of us that's completely automatic, it's our default self, it's not authentic, it's been programmed into us, we bring that in our professional setting, and it makes it very hard to advance and succeed. It's the same kind of notion. Dr. Louise Frankel, she wrote that book, Why Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office. I love her work. And it's the same thing as young girls, we were programmed to be nice girls, okay, to be agreeable, to think about others' needs before our own, to, be careful of our language. So it's really softened and we use a lot of words, all the ways that we can be liked and accepted, okay, in order to get ahead, okay. But coming into the professional sense, even Louise Frankel said, is just not sufficient, right? We need to bring this professional self that Steve Chandler talks about. We have to create it. We have to author that. We have to decide what our professional self is, because if we're answering every email and every concern from our team or our customers, we're on their beck and call, then it doesn't look very professional. It doesn't look like we have boundaries. So we're not showing people our boundaries. We're not showing our team our boundaries. And it starts to have this ripple effect through your business and the organization. I have worked with CEOs that run quite big businesses and have, 200 plus team, and they don't have this professional self, right? This is a crossover from social to professional, and they don't have boundaries. They don't show boundaries or teach boundaries to their team. And so everyone was always communicating even late into the night. So not only is that exhausting for team, it kind of wears people down. They don't have a personal life, right? And it's exhausting for everybody. And so I want you to consider this. Your professional self has boundaries, has priorities, has the things that you want to do, which means that you can't say yes to everyone. And it does mean that you're going to feel triggered, it's going to feel uncomfortable saying no because of that hidden need for approval that's been trained into us. As soon as we let someone down or we say no, it feels icky, it feels off, right? But it's an important part of the transition into showing up as your most powerful self, as your professional self at work. Okay, that's the place to be professional. And eventually, as you transition into that, it feels so much more smooth. It feels really authentic to show up that way. So if this is you, if you find yourself, being there for everybody, doing everyone's work or saying yes or being super responsive or feeling icky when you don't answer a text message straight away, like someone's going to be offended or think that I don't like them, whatever it is, just know that that's been programmed into you. That's not really your authentic self, okay? And if you want to show up more authentic and professional, then you have to create what that looks like for you. In order to respect your time with your family, with your business, with your life, you have to create a professional self. So let me know in the comments below, was this helpful and how would you want to show up knowing that there is a social self and a professional self? How do you want to show up every day?